Affordable, packed with features, and surprisingly good, yet slow sellers. Believe it or not, such SUVs exist. The market is full of underdogs that are actually an amazing value and that definitely deserve more attention from the crowd. This is the video about hidden gems, about 7 cheap SUVs that nobody buys but are really good. Let's start the countdown. Number 7. Kia Niro. With the average annual sales going between 30 and 40,000 in the last few years, we can't say that Kia's small crossover is the slowest seller around. But it definitely hasn't been able to reach a wider audience, and we still can't understand why. It's not the best looking model in the class, but it's far from bad looking either. Its cabin is generous, at least when it comes to passenger space, while the interior quality is good for the class and also well equipped. The Niro's strongest point is probably the efficient powertrain. The base version, priced just around $27,000, comes standard with a hybrid powertrain, and that system may not be the quickest around, but it offers exceptional fuel efficiency, with average fuel economy going well over 50 miles per gallon. Kia also has the answer for those looking for something peppier, considering that there is also a plug-in hybrid equipped with 180 horsepower and over 30 miles of electric-only range. So why isn't Niro selling better? Well, there are a few drawbacks, like the small cargo area and underwhelming performance with the base powertrain. Also, there is no all-wheel drive version on offer, but those still aren't issues big enough to remain behind many classmates who are arguably not as good. We believe that Niro is one of the best models in the segment and that it definitely deserves a higher position in terms of sales figures. Number 6. Buick Encore GX. Although its sales are actually relatively good, the fact is that they've been in decline lately, and that's something this well-designed SUV doesn't deserve, because it has so many great things to offer. Yes, it may feature a slightly higher starting price compared to a typical subcompact crossover, but it's also more luxurious and better equipped, with some of the features you won't normally find in the cheaper competition. For example, the cabin looks very modern thanks to that massive infotainment screen and elegant dashboard layout. Besides style, the cabin is also very practical, with a cargo area that goes over 50 cubic feet with the rear seats down. The list of good things doesn't end there. The Encore GX features a pretty attractive exterior, and overall, it is a very good car. Definitely one of the top choices in the segment. But it looks like buyers can't get over the fact that the powertrain is not the peppiest around, considering that the duo of turbocharged 3-cylinder units isn't capable enough to help this crossover stand out. The Encore GX is a very nice SUV, but underwhelming performance keeps it from being seen as a genuine premium SUV. And many feel that for that reason, the higher-than-average price is not justified. We don't think so, because it still has so many great things to offer, and definitely is one of the best, less popular cheap SUVs you can buy today. Number 5. Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. With all those sharp lines, sloping roof, and coupe SUV design that's usually reserved for much pricier SUVs from the upper class, the Eclipse Cross stands out as one of the better-looking models in the segment. Furthermore, its Turbo 4 engine offers reasonably good performance, while the fact that all-wheel drive is standard is a great advantage in the segment, where some classmates don't even offer all-wheel drive as an option. But the Eclipse Cross remains one of the least popular small crossovers on the market, and one of the reasons may be the fact that the Eclipse nameplate has been associated with sports coupes in the past. This one is nowhere near as engaging to drive as its name and coupe SUV layout suggest. Furthermore, the interior doesn't look as interesting as the exterior, while the sloping roof is also the reason for less cargo space compared to rivals. But even with these drawbacks in mind, the Eclipse Cross deserves way more attention and much better sales figures. It looks nice, it's easy to drive, and even the price is quite reasonable. Moreover, Mitsubishi offers a pretty generous warranty, including a 10-year or 100,000 powertrain coverage, good corrosion protection, and complimentary maintenance covered for 2 years or 30,000 miles. Number 4. Lincoln Corsair. With a starting price of around $40,000, it's not easy to call this SUV cheap. But still, when you compare it with other models in the segment, you'll figure out that it's significantly cheaper than rivals. And despite the very attractive price, it's actually a pretty good SUV that has some really nice things to offer. For example, its cabin looks pretty elegant and luxurious, while the list of standard equipment is pretty long. Even the amount of safety features is pretty impressive, while the available plug-in hybrid powertrain offers a good mix of power, fuel economy, and electric-only range. Still, it's not among the most popular models in its class for a couple of reasons. First of all, once you sit behind the steering wheel, you quickly realize that underneath that luxury is still a Ford, with driving dynamics that aren't exactly on par with classmates. The Corsair lacks the driver engagement you would expect from a premium SUV, while the cargo area and rear headroom are not particularly generous either. Clearly, there's a reason why it's way more affordable than some of the most prominent players in the segment, like the BMW X3 or Volvo XC60, for example. But even with these drawbacks in mind, we think that the Corsair is still a great value. If you want a stylish and luxurious SUV and don't care about performance and driving engagement, this SUV is a great opportunity to get a premium SUV for significantly less money than you would normally have to pay in this class. Number 3. Dodge Hornet. Let's get things straight. The Dodge Hornet sales figures are going up at a fast pace, but we feel it deserves way more popularity than the current sales figures suggest. Yes, it may have a few drawbacks that many potential customers will hardly forgive in this segment, like a small cargo area or tight rear seats. But on the other hand, this SUV has much to offer, because behind that mainstream badge, you get a genuine premium driving experience. The Dodge Hornet is essentially an Alfa Romeo, with wonderful chassis and driving dynamics that you'll hardly get from any other classmate. There are a couple of strong powertrains, one gas-only and one hybrid, while handling is so good that the Hornet outperforms most of its rivals with ease. Besides sporty performance, the Hornet also stands pretty well when it comes to standard and available equipment, while its Uconnect 5 infotainment system is among the best in class. What more do you need to enjoy? Number 2. Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. The plug-in hybrid version of the Outlander is among the least popular models in the class, and if we are about to look for reasons, the price might be one of them. It starts at over $40,000, and for most people, that seems a little bit too much for a compact Mitsubishi SUV, which would normally be associated with a cheap-looking interior, outdated tech, and not particularly engaging driving characteristics. But the reality is that this SUV doesn't deserve to remain under the radar, because considering what it gives in return for that kind of money, it's actually pretty cheap. Its cabin looks really nice with fine materials and lots of standard equipment. Moreover, that plug-in hybrid is quite capable, considering the max output of nearly 250 horsepower, which is combined with a respectable electric-only range of nearly 40 miles. Add to this the fact that this is one of the rare compact crossovers that comes with 3 rows of seats, and you might conclude that this is actually one of the better family SUVs on the market. Oh, and we almost forgot to mention that Mitsubishi offers a pretty generous warranty these days, as both powertrain and hybrid components are covered for 10 years and 100,000 miles. Number 1. Hyundai Venue. With a starting price of just $20,000, the Hyundai Venue is easily one of the cheapest cars you can buy today. Of course, anyone who plans to spend such an amount of money on a new car should be ready to make some compromises. The Venue, for example, won't impress you with its 121 horsepower engine, nor with the fact that there is no all-wheel drive option. The cargo area is too small. But still, there are so many things that make us wonder why Venue isn't one of the best sellers, not just in its class, but in the whole market. The Venue looks fairly decent from the inside, while the infotainment system is easy to use and with a decently sized touchscreen. Furthermore, it comes standard with a pretty impressive list of standard safety features, while the fuel economy is also pretty good. Fully loaded versions with styling upgrades and lots of interior and safety features still cost less than $25,000, which sounds unbelievable in today's market, and which is the reason why this SUV is easily one of the best values around. If there's a cheap SUV you should definitely check out, that would be the Hyundai Venue. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.